When you hit 60, certain vegetables can become silent saboteurs in your body, slowly draining your energy, clouding your mind, and making you feel older than your years. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. The vegetables you think are healthy might actually be working against you. While 4 specific vegetables could be the key to feeling decades younger. I'm speaking from over 3 decades of experience working with seniors who've transformed their health simply by making these crucial dietary changes. And if you've been wondering why you don't feel as sharp, as energetic, or as vibrant as you used to, the answer might be sitting right there on your dinner plate. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 4 vegetables that could be quietly undermining your health after 60, and more importantly, reveal the 4 powerhouse vegetables that can help restore your energy, sharpen your mind, and support your body in ways that will genuinely surprise you. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss vital health information designed specifically for seniors. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If you're skeptical, type 0 and let me know what questions you have. Let's start with the first vegetable that's been masquerading as healthy but could actually be causing you more harm than good. The first vegetable you need to eliminate from your diet is one that's probably sitting in your refrigerator right now. It's something you've been told is nutritious, something that appears in salads and side dishes across America. But after age 60, this seemingly innocent vegetable can trigger inflammation, disrupt your digestion, and leave you feeling more tired than you should. I'm talking about raw spinach. Now, before you think I've lost my mind, hear me out. I still remember sitting with Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher who came to me exhausted and frustrated. She'd been eating spinach salads every day for lunch, thinking she was doing everything right. But what Margaret didn't know is that raw spinach contains high levels of oxalates, compounds that can interfere with mineral absorption and contribute to kidney stone formation. As we age, our digestive systems become less efficient at processing these compounds. The oxalates in raw spinach can bind to calcium, magnesium, and iron in your digestive tract, preventing your body from absorbing these crucial nutrients. This is particularly dangerous for seniors because we're already at higher risk for deficiencies in these minerals. But here's where it gets worse. Those same oxalates can accumulate in your tissues, contributing to joint pain and inflammation. Many of my patients have complained of mysterious aches and pains that seem to come from nowhere. When we removed raw spinach from their diet, those symptoms often improved dramatically. Margaret was skeptical at first. She'd been eating spinach for years, convinced it was one of the healthiest things she could do. But within 2 weeks of eliminating raw spinach from her daily routine, she noticed her energy levels climbing. The afternoon fatigue that had plagued her for months began to lift. Her joint stiffness, particularly in her hands and knees, started to ease. Now, I'm not saying spinach is evil. Cooked spinach is actually beneficial because the cooking process breaks down many of the problematic oxalates. But raw spinach, especially in large quantities, can be working against you in ways you never imagined. The second vegetable that's causing problems for seniors is one that's become incredibly popular in recent years. It's showing up in everything from salads to smoothies, and it's been marketed as a superfood. But the truth is, this vegetable can be particularly harsh on aging digestive systems. I'm talking about raw kale. Just like with spinach, the issue isn't necessarily the vegetable itself, but how our bodies process it as we get older. Raw kale contains compounds called goitrogens, which can interfere with thyroid function. And here's the problem. Thyroid issues become more common as we age, particularly in women. I had a patient named Robert, a 72-year-old former contractor who'd started drinking green smoothies every morning. His wife had convinced him it was the healthy thing to do, and he was drinking massive amounts of raw kale blended with fruit. But Robert started experiencing fatigue, brain fog, and unexplained weight gain. His thyroid function, which had been normal for years, began to decline. The goitrogens in raw kale can block iodine absorption, which is essential for proper thyroid function. When your thyroid isn't working optimally, everything slows down. Your metabolism crashes, your energy plummets, your thinking becomes cloudy, and you feel like you're aging faster than you should. It was remarkable once we made the switch. Instead of raw kale smoothies, he began lightly steaming his kale or adding it to soups. The cooking process neutralizes many of the goitrogens while making the nutrients more bioavailable. Within a month, his energy returned, the brain fog lifted, and his digestion improved dramatically. The third vegetable that's problematic for seniors is one that might shock you because it's been promoted as heart-healthy and anti-inflammatory. But the reality is, this vegetable can actually increase inflammation in many people over 60, particularly those with sensitive digestive systems. I'm talking about raw tomatoes, especially in large quantities. Now you might be thinking, but tomatoes are full of lycopene. They're supposed to be good for you. And you're partially right. Cooked tomatoes are indeed beneficial. But raw tomatoes, particularly for seniors, can be inflammatory troublemakers. Raw tomatoes are part of the nightshade family, and they contain compounds called glycoalkaloids. These compounds can trigger inflammation in susceptible individuals, leading to joint pain, digestive issues, and even mood changes. As we age, our bodies often become more sensitive to these compounds. I worked with a woman named Dorothy, a 69-year-old grandmother who loved her garden-fresh tomato salads. She was eating raw tomatoes almost daily during the summer months, proud of her homegrown produce. But Dorothy was also struggling with increasing joint pain, particularly in her hands and knees. She'd been to several doctors, had x-rays and blood work, but everything came back normal. When we eliminated raw tomatoes from her diet for a trial period, something remarkable happened. Within 3 weeks, Dorothy's joint pain decreased significantly. The stiffness she'd been experiencing every morning began to fade. She could garden longer without discomfort and found herself sleeping better at night. The inflammatory compounds in raw tomatoes can also affect the digestive system. Many seniors experience increased acid reflux, stomach irritation, and digestive discomfort when consuming large amounts of raw tomatoes. The acidity can be particularly harsh on aging digestive tissues. But here's the interesting part. When Dorothy switched to cooked tomatoes, she not only avoided the inflammatory effects, but actually gained more nutritional benefits. Cooking tomatoes increases the bioavailability of lycopene, making it easier for your body to absorb and utilize this powerful antioxidant. The fourth and final vegetable that's causing problems for seniors is one that's often considered a health food staple. It's crunchy, refreshing, and appears in countless healthy recipes. But for people over 60, this vegetable can be surprisingly hard on the digestive system and may even contribute to nutrient deficiencies. I'm talking about raw broccoli. Now, I know this might sound controversial because broccoli is universally recognized as a healthy vegetable, and it is when it's properly prepared. But raw broccoli presents several challenges for aging bodies. First, like kale, raw broccoli contains goitrogens that can interfere with thyroid function. But the bigger issue is digestibility. Raw broccoli is extremely fibrous and contains complex sugars that can be difficult for aging digestive systems to break down. This can lead to gas, bloating, and digestive discomfort. I had a patient named Frank, a 74-year-old retired firefighter who'd started eating raw broccoli as snacks throughout the day. His doctor had told him to increase his vegetable intake, and Frank figured raw broccoli was the healthiest option. But Frank was experiencing terrible digestive issues, gas, bloating, and stomach discomfort that was affecting his quality of life. Raw broccoli also contains compounds that can interfere with the absorption of certain nutrients. The fiber in raw broccoli can bind to minerals like iron and zinc, making them less available to your body. For seniors who are already at risk for mineral deficiencies, this can be particularly problematic. But here's what's fascinating. When Frank switched to lightly steamed broccoli, all of his digestive issues resolved. The steaming process breaks down the tough fibers, neutralizes the goitrogens, and what are the vegetables that can actually support your health, energy, and vitality after 60? The answer might surprise you, because these 4 vegetables are often overlooked, underestimated, or dismissed as too simple. The first vegetable you absolutely must include in your diet is one that's been supporting human health for thousands of years. It's gentle on the digestive system, packed with nutrients, and has anti-inflammatory properties that become more important as we age. Yet many people overlook it because it seems too ordinary. I'm talking about cooked carrots. Now, I know what you're thinking. Carrots seem too simple, too basic. But hear me out. Cooked carrots are nutritional powerhouses that are perfectly suited for aging bodies. When carrots are cooked, their cell walls break down, making the nutrients more bioavailable. The beta-carotene in cooked carrots is more easily absorbed than in raw carrots, and your body can convert it more efficiently into vitamin A. This is crucial for seniors because vitamin A supports immune function, eye health, and skin integrity. But here's what most people don't know. Cooked carrots contain unique compounds that support cardiovascular health. The cooking process creates new antioxidant compounds that aren't present in raw carrots. These compounds help protect your blood vessels, support healthy blood pressure, and may even help prevent age-related cognitive decline. I worked with a man named George, a 68-year-old retired mechanic who was struggling with high blood pressure and declining energy. His doctor had him on medication, but George wanted to support his health naturally as well. When we added cooked carrots to his daily routine, something remarkable happened. George started having a serving of cooked carrots with his lunch every day. Within 6 weeks, his blood pressure readings began to improve, his energy levels increased, and he found himself feeling more alert throughout the day. The gentle natural sugars in cooked carrots provided steady energy without the crashes associated with processed foods. Cooked carrots are also incredibly easy to digest, making them perfect for seniors who might be struggling with digestive issues. They're soothing to the digestive tract and can actually help heal and protect the gut lining. The second vegetable that should be a staple in every senior's diet is one that's been unfairly demonized by low-carb diets. It's filling, nutritious, and provides the kind of steady energy that aging bodies need. But most people have been scared away from it by diet trends that don't consider the unique needs of seniors. I'm talking about properly prepared sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are nutritional treasures that provide complex carbohydrates, fiber, vitamins, and minerals in a form that's easy for aging bodies to process and utilize. The complex carbohydrates in sweet potatoes provide steady, sustained energy without the blood sugar spikes associated with processed foods. This is particularly important for seniors because stable blood sugar levels support cognitive function, mood stability, and energy levels throughout the day. But here's what makes sweet potatoes special for people over 60. They're loaded with potassium, a mineral that becomes increasingly important as we age. Potassium supports heart health, helps regulate blood pressure, and may even help prevent muscle loss, which is a significant concern for seniors. I remember working with Eleanor, a 71-year-old retired librarian who was constantly tired and struggled with afternoon energy crashes. She'd been avoiding carbohydrates because she thought they were unhealthy, but this was actually contributing to her fatigue. When we added baked sweet potatoes to her diet, her energy levels stabilized dramatically. Eleanor started having a medium-baked sweet potato with her lunch several times a week. The sustained energy it provided helped her avoid the afternoon crashes that had been plaguing her for months. She found herself more alert, more energetic, and better able to enjoy her retirement activities. Sweet potatoes also contain unique antioxidants that support brain health. The orange pigments in sweet potatoes, particularly beta-carotene, help protect brain cells from oxidative stress and may support cognitive function as we age. The third vegetable that every senior should embrace is one that's often overlooked because it's so common. It's available year-round, incredibly versatile, and provides nutrients that are specifically important for aging bodies. Yet many people dismiss it as too ordinary or boring. Onions might seem mundane, but they're actually one of the most beneficial vegetables for seniors. They contain compounds that support cardiovascular health, immune function, and even bone health. Cooked onions are rich in quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that has anti-inflammatory properties. This is particularly important for seniors because chronic inflammation is linked to many age-related health issues, including heart disease, arthritis, and cognitive decline. But here's what's fascinating about onions. They contain prebiotic compounds that support gut health. As we age, our gut microbiome often becomes less diverse and less healthy. The prebiotic compounds in onions help feed beneficial bacteria in the gut, supporting digestive health and immune function. I worked with a man named Albert, a 66-year-old retired postal worker who was struggling with digestive issues and frequent minor illnesses. His immune system seemed to be failing him, and he was catching every cold and bug that came around. When we added cooked onions to his regular diet, his health began to improve in ways that surprised both of us. Albert started adding sautéed onions to his meals several times a week. Within a month, his digestive issues began to resolve. His energy improved, and remarkably, he stopped getting sick as frequently. The immune-supporting compounds in onions were helping his body defend itself more effectively. Cooked onions also contain compounds that may support bone health, which is crucial for seniors. The sulfur compounds in onions may help preserve bone density and reduce the risk of fractures. The fourth and final vegetable that should be a cornerstone of every senior's diet is one that's been celebrated for its health benefits, but often consumed in the wrong way. When prepared properly, this vegetable can support brain health, cardiovascular function, and even help protect against age-related diseases. I'm talking about properly cooked cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower and cabbage. These vegetables are nutritional powerhouses when they're cooked properly, but they're often consumed raw or undercooked, which can cause digestive issues for seniors. Cooked cruciferous vegetables contain compounds called glucosinolates, which break down into powerful anti-cancer compounds when the vegetables are properly prepared. These compounds have been shown to support cellular health and may help protect against age-related diseases that become more common after 60. But here's what's crucial. These vegetables need to be cooked thoroughly to maximize their benefits and minimize digestive stress. Raw or undercooked cruciferous vegetables can be hard on aging digestive systems and may interfere with thyroid function, as we discussed earlier. I had a patient named Ruth, a 73-year-old retired nurse who was concerned about her family history of cancer and wanted to do everything possible to protect her health. Ruth had been trying to eat raw cauliflower and cabbage, thinking that was the healthiest approach, but she was experiencing terrible digestive discomfort. When we switched Ruth to properly cooked cruciferous vegetables, everything changed. She started roasting cauliflower until it was tender and sweet, and adding cooked cabbage to soups and stews. Not only did her digestive issues resolve, but she was actually getting more nutritional benefit from the vegetables. The cooking process breaks down the tough fibers that can be difficult for aging digestive systems to handle. It also helps release the beneficial compounds and makes them more bioavailable. Ruth found that she could eat larger quantities of these protective vegetables without any digestive distress. Cooked cruciferous vegetables also provide excellent support for liver detoxification, which becomes increasingly important as we age. The compounds in these vegetables help support the liver's natural detoxification processes, helping your body eliminate toxins more efficiently. Within 3 months of making these changes, Ruth reported feeling more energetic and vibrant than she had in years. Her annual blood work showed improvements in several markers, and her doctor was impressed with her overall health improvements. Now, you might be wondering how to put all of this information together. How do you eliminate the problematic vegetables while incorporating the beneficial ones? The key is to think about preparation and timing. Instead of that raw spinach salad, try sautéed spinach with garlic and olive oil. The cooking process eliminates most of the problematic oxalates while making the nutrients more available. Replace raw kale smoothies with cooked kale added to soups or stews. Swap raw tomatoes for cooked tomatoes in sauces and soups. And instead of raw broccoli snacks, try lightly steamed. I've seen seniors go from feeling tired and sluggish to energetic and vibrant simply by making these dietary adjustments. The key is consistency and patience. Remember, your body at 60 and beyond has different needs than it did at 30 or 40. Your digestive system may be less efficient, your nutrient absorption may be compromised, and your inflammatory response may be heightened. By choosing vegetables that work with your aging body rather than against it, you're giving yourself the best chance to feel vibrant and healthy in your later years. One of the most important things I've learned in my decades of working with seniors is that small changes can have profound effects. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start by eliminating one problematic vegetable and adding one beneficial one. See how you feel. Then make another change. Many of my patients are amazed at how much better they feel when they stop fighting their bodies and start supporting them. The joint pain that seemed inevitable begins to ease. The digestive issues that had become a daily struggle start to resolve. The energy that had been slowly draining away begins to return. This isn't about perfection or rigid dietary rules. It's about understanding how your body is changing and adapting your nutrition to support those changes. It's about working with your body's natural aging process rather than against it. The truth is, many of the health issues we associate with aging aren't inevitable. They're often the result of dietary choices that don't support our changing bodies. By making these simple but powerful adjustments, you're taking control of your health and giving yourself the best chance to age gracefully and